I am wearing my CM Punk t-shirt to celebrate an incredible CM Punk promo. I think one of his best, maybe even his best since he came back. That wasn't an exchange. Like his one with Cody was great. The first exchange, even the second one with Cody was great too. Some of his ones with Roman have been really good too. Those are promo exchanges. This was like a pipe bomb, pretty much. I mean, even though he went to other storylines and he went to big topics, proving that he is one of those characters that on WWE TV can exist outside of his own storyline. He actually started off with some solid attacks on Roman Reigns, his opponent. I mean, it was interesting because this promo accomplished two things. The first thing is it turned a largely pro OTC Roman Reigns crowd. They were chanting OTC into a CM Punk crowd by the end. And it wasn't just with his attacks on Roman. Like, that line, he had some great lines. Like, you're a guy who ate dog food for a weird old man. He brought The Rock into it and said, "Oh, at least The Rock's a movie star." Oh, sorry, a former movie star, something to that effect. And he had that great line of, I can gleefully stand on this bridge while torching it because I know how to swim. Something like that. He was on fire. I think by that point, the crowd was already getting to be with him. And then he said that, no, this is not just about, he's walking around the ring too. So he started with the seated position to symbolize the pipe bomb. He's not just doing an in-ring promo. He's walking it around, forget the hard cam. He's like right next to the crowd. And he became a real man of the people because he brought up Pat McAfee, who we called Pat McAfee. Okay, there's something there. I didn't even catch it on the first listen. I caught it the second time around. It's quite after somebody had already pointed it out online. Yeah, but then he dwelled into that for a little bit. I don't even know McAfee's political leanings, but that seems to make sense. But then he mentioned, just as Cody had done on SmackDown, he hinted at Ari Emanuel, that agent who shoehorned you into this company and into this show, I guess meaning WrestleMania, tell him to lower the ticket prices. The crowd went wild. And the crowd, like, it almost seemed like a shoot. And he brought it up again, says, I want families to come. Now, there was obviously some initial debate as to whether this was Punk acting. He did at the end say, I'm CM Punk and I approve this message. But obviously Triple H had to approve it. Now, this seemed like a much better version of what Cody tried to do on SmackDown, to sort of to crap on the creative but he went further by talking about ticket prices. It could, honestly, I think they're basically setting up a storyline, the babyface WWE brand versus heel TKO. And apparently TKO is going to lower ticket prices a little bit for WrestleMania, or they already did. And then over the summer, they're going to lower them a bit. Not because CM Punk told them to, but I think they realized that was happening. So they sent out CM Punk to be the guy, to be the babyface of this. At least they're acknowledging that ticket prices are a problem. It's not really the booking. You don't need to shoehorn Pat McAfee in when the tickets are too expensive. I mean, honestly, I think WWE, they're not cheap. WrestleMania has never been cheap. But I think the idea that it's still affordable to some people who can maybe afford to fly to Las Vegas, get a hotel, but they're not going to spend $2,000 on a ticket, not going to spend $700 on it. If you spend like at the Bells, if you spend like if you're in we call it the Reds, the lower bowl, a stadium, an arena, like, a couple $100 for a ticket is good, but they're probably charging $900 to over $1,000. I think they're even charging like $2,000 for that. That's, even for WrestleMania, that's ridiculous. They're trying to get a UFC crowd of the Ultra, the Jet Set, whatever. No, WrestleMania, you got to have you do have some very wealthy people there, but you also have people who are maybe like a little bit, and you have maybe the poor people in the nosebleed, the people who can only afford a little bit, but people can afford some luxury, like the middle class, the families, whatever. Yeah. And sorry, I just went on a tangent right there. I think if you're watching this video, you might agree with me. Or maybe you don't, but I think you can definitely agree that CM Punk really voiced that opinion, the voice of the voiceless. He's actually being who he should be. And he proved that he can exist outside of his own storyline. He's one of the few characters allowed to do that. And I guess if you want somebody to make a point about the corporation, you try and have Cody do it, but Cody's still got to keep his character to a certain extent. You call on CM Punk. And the beauty is that he got the crowd cheering because of that, cheering for him at the end. But they started already, even when he was finishing up with Roman. Now, I don't know how Roman's going to respond, but because maybe he might not mention the ticket prices part. He probably won't. He's just going to mention the stuff that's aimed at him, and that actually might involve The Rock. Who knows? But regardless, after what happened on SmackDown, after seeing this promo just at the very start of the show, I was like, wow, that was excellent and exciting. What did you think of CM Punk's promo on Raw? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications for all my wrestling hot takes, cold takes, simmering takes, wrestling opinion pieces, WWE premium live event prediction and review videos, and assorted thoughts on SmackDown and Raw. For all of my assorted thoughts on this Raw, check the podcast feed, and I'll be back with more assorted thoughts here. Until then, for Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean.